Yes, I am on the VT Couch with Geeta and Nadkarni. We're talking about if you have a small business and you want to reach out to different media outlets, how do you do it? How much should you spend? What mistakes should you avoid? Media expert, consultant, Geeta is here. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me, Joanne.
We go way back. If we start giggling at some point, it's because we're friends. All right, let's get to it. Only hire a PR agency if you have the budget to do it, because the instinct is to go right away there.
Well, this is the thing. See, a lot of small businesses make the mistake of sticking with just social media. And as you know, that's great if you have an audience.
Yeah.
But not so great if you don't, or you're trying to build one. The people who do recognize the credibility, the trust, the amazing exposure that media can bring, they're like, I don't know how to do this. And they cough up every single marketing dollar that they have and hand it over to a PR person and say, you have 2 months. Get me results yesterday. And that's like coming to a first date with a ring in your pocket. It's just, it's way too
much. Or expecting to get the ring.
Exactly, right? So it's in the name, PR, public relations. And I think the biggest tragedy of hiring a PR person or outsourcing it when you don't have the budget is that, let's say you have the perfect pitch, you're the perfect expert, you have the greatest story ever. The timing is not right. You know, that happens sometimes, right? Like it's perfect, the timing's not right. The PR person has sent the pitch to the journalist. They have a relationship. You're outside of it. 2 months later, when they're all done, it's a cold call all over again.
It is. It's like, that's what it is. Avoid the cold call. That's the worst thing ever. Okay, so ensure your story is topical, which is, we know this.
Yes, right.
Like timing.
The 5 W's, right? We talk about the 5 W's in J School. Do you want to go through that with me?
So, what, when, where, why, how?
I talk about the 6th W. Why now?
Why now?
And that's actually the filter through which all of your story, the entire pitch, all the other W's are evaluated. Because if it's not, you're not going to do a Christmas story in July.
That is very true. Right? Good point.
Yeah. And in fact, if you have a holiday coming up, so if content is king, context is queen. So if you have Halloween coming up and you're a dentist, for example, maybe you could pitch to the media tooth-friendly Halloween tradition.
I love that, Geeta. I love that. Sell your message, sell your idea, not yourself.
Yes, nobody cares. Let's take my business. Nobody cares that I have, experience in TV and radio and whatever. Who cares? It's all about what value am I bringing to your show? What value am I bringing to our audience? If I'm not delivering something useful and topical and something that enriches their lives, what are you going to tell me? You're going to tell me no.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. So there has to be a takeaway is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Essentially, always a takeaway.
What's the problem that you're solving?
Exactly. Don't send a press release, send a personalized pitch instead. This is surprising to me because the press releases they're flying everywhere all the time.
I know. And how many times does your delete finger tired? You're like, delete.
We're not supposed to say this on the air, but yes, it does happen. It does happen, yes.
I mean, how often do you read a press release where the most interesting part of the piece is at the very bottom?
Very.
Something I tell people is, journalists often, you guys are so stressed, everyone's so stressed these days, you read in a Z pattern, right? You scan the headline, you skim all the way down the body of the text, and then you read the final bit. And the way I say it is you have to, first of all, find journalists who are already interested in your subject, shows that are doing the kind of story that you're pitching, and then you make your pitch an emotional experience by first writing a killer headline in the subject line.
Always.
Then, here's my killer tip, you put images in the body of the text, not as attachments, in the body of the text. And that slows the scan and actually creates an emotional experience for the journalist as they're reading the pitch.
So much more to get to, but we've run out of time, which means we'll have to have you back on the show.
Excellent.
I love that. Put the images in the press release. It's true. We do read in Zeds. You just made me remember that. All right. Thank you. We'll see you again.